Welcome back to Lifestyle with Chev, where we talk about budget traveling, house sitting, and how to create more freedom with your money. Today's video is for women over 40 who have been thinking about solo travel, but might feel a little nervous, unsure, or just don't even know where to start. For me, solo travel is something that I had to grow into. My son used to be my little travel buddy, my explorer, someone that I used to explore different places with. But as he got older and started creating his own life, I had to learn how to be comfortable with my own company. I became an empty nester, and that season forced me to ask myself, do I stop exploring now because my life looks a little different? Or do I learn how to explore in a new way? And that's really where solo traveling started to shift for me. It became less about just taking a trip and more about rebuilding my confidence, learning myself again, and realizing that I can create memories even if I was doing it alone. We tend to think sometimes that solo traveling is just for those in their 20s. But no, you can actually start solo traveling in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And honestly, in your 40s, I believe travel can be a little bit more meaningful because you know yourself better. You know what you like, you know what you don't like, what you're willing to spend money on, and what kind of experiences actually matter to you. Before we talk about flights, hotels, destination, let's first talk about mindset. Now, a lot of us women, especially I'm speaking to those who are mothers, we tend to think that solo traveling is either too scary, it's too late, or just a little selfish. But solo traveling can actually be one of the most freeing things that you can do for yourself. Just think, as a parent, you have to be on schedules. You have to basically create your life around your children. But when you solo travel, you don't have to be on anyone's schedule, someone's budget, or someone's permission to see the world. If you never traveled solo before, you do not have to start off with a 2-week international trip. Start small. Try booking a solo day trip, maybe take yourself to the museum, maybe go to a local beach town. Maybe you can even try to book a hotel in a nearby city. Build the muscle of being comfortable by yourself. Now, for your first solo trip, I want you to pick a destination that feels easy. I wouldn't recommend making your first solo trip the most complicated trip of your life. I want you to choose a city where transportation is simple. The airport is easy to navigate, there are plenty hotels, and you have activities nearby. Now, for example, some of these places can be San Diego, Nashville, Chicago. Chicago is definitely a good one. I've been to Chicago once. Downtown Chicago is nice. You can walk. Phoenix is another one. You can even book something like going to a national park if it fits your comfort level. The goal for your first solo trip is not to prove how brave you are. The goal is to build confidence. When you're solo traveling, I want you to have a loose plan. Like, don't over plan too much. Just think about like where you're staying, how you're getting from the airport, what neighborhoods you like to explore, and just a few main things that you would like to do. But also leave space for rest and flexibility. Solo travel is not about rushing. It's about enjoying the experiences. Now, don't want to talk about safety in a way that makes solo traveling feel impossible, but we do need to be wise. Share your itinerary with someone. Always keep your phone charged, maybe even carry a backup charger. Me personally, I have 2. Another good tip is don't ever share your location live. Always arrive during the day if possible. Trust your intuition, and if something feels off, leave. Book your first night somewhere that makes you feel comfortable, even if it costs more. A peace of mind is a part of the budget. One way I've been able to travel affordably is through house sitting. House sitting can definitely be a great option if you want to slow travel, stay in neighborhoods instead of touristy areas, and lower your accommodation costs. If you're curious about how to get started house sitting, I have a beginner-friendly house sitting playbook linked down below. Keep in mind, solo travel does not have to be luxury to be meaningful. Now, when it comes to creating an itinerary around solo traveling, I'm gonna definitely say my recommendation is pick something that you enjoy doing, right? I actually made a video about this. Now, what I like to do, I like to hike. Now, most of my travels are geared around hiking. So I'm a sucker for views. I'm a sucker for waterfalls and nature, right? So my trips are planned according to what hikes I'm gonna go on. Find something that you enjoy doing. You might want to start off with a wellness retreat. I know, like maybe in Phoenix or Sedona, you might can find wellness retreats. Maybe you're not into the nightlife and maybe you're into just going to coffee shops and checking out the local cafes. Maybe you're into walking tours, or maybe you just want to go to a spa or a museum, or just have slow mornings. That is the beauty of solo traveling. You get to create and build your itinerary around what you like to do. So if you're over 40 and you've been thinking about solo travel, I want you to know that it's not too late. You don't have to wait for the perfect person, the perfect time, or the perfect budget. Start small, choose an easy destination, and plan wisely. Trust yourself and build your confidence one trip at a time. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe down below. Here on Lifestyle with Chev, we talk about budget travel, house sitting, and how to create more freedom with your money. Peace, and I'll see you guys in the next one.